Karma finds them. There is something deeply satisfying about watching the universe correct itself. Not because we are vengeful people, not because we enjoy seeing others suffer, but because somewhere, deep inside every human being, there is a fundamental need to believe that the world is fair, that actions have consequences, that no one, no matter how powerful, how charming, or how untouchable they seem, escapes what they have set in motion. This is not wishful thinking. This is karma. And karma, unlike human justice, does not forget. It does not get tired. It does not get distracted. It does not accept bribes or excuses. It simply waits, quietly, patiently, and with absolute certainty. It waits for the right moment to deliver exactly what was earned. Today, we are going to talk about how karma finds people. Not in a vague, spiritual sense, but in the very real, very specific ways that the universe brings balance back to situations that were thrown off course by someone's cruelty, dishonesty, or selfishness. We are going to talk about the patterns, the signs, the stories, and most importantly, we are going to talk about what you should do while you wait. Because the hardest part of believing in karma is not the believing. It is the waiting. Let's begin. There is a reason the phrase, "what goes around comes around," has survived thousands of years across dozens of cultures. Ancient Hindu texts, Buddhist teachings, Greek philosophy, African proverbs, virtually every civilization that has ever existed has arrived at the same conclusion independently. The energy you put into the world returns to you. Not always immediately, not always in the way you expect, but always. The word karma itself comes from the Sanskrit word meaning action, and that is the key to understanding how it works. Karma is not about punishment. It is about consequence. Every action creates a ripple. Every choice sends a signal into the fabric of reality. And reality, in its infinite wisdom, responds in kind. When someone hurts you, when they lie about you, betray your trust, steal from you, humiliate you, or try to destroy what you have built, they are not just hurting you. They are setting something in motion. They are creating a debt. And that debt does not disappear just because they walk away smiling. Think about the people in your life who have wronged you. The ones who seem to get away with it. The ones who walked out of the situation looking fine while you were left picking up the pieces. Did you ever check back in on them a year later? 2 years later? 5 years later? Because here is what most people discover when they do. Things changed. The relationship they left you for fell apart. The job they stabbed you in the back to get became a nightmare. The reputation they tried to destroy yours to protect began crumbling from the inside. The friendships they maintained by spreading lies about you slowly dissolved when the truth came out. Karma does not always arrive loudly. Sometimes it whispers. Sometimes it looks like a series of small misfortunes that add up over time. Sometimes it looks like isolation. The person who hurt everyone around them slowly finding themselves with no one left. Sometimes it looks like internal suffering, the anxiety, the guilt, the restlessness that comes from living a life built on hurting others. But it always arrives. One of the most common ways karma finds people is through their relationships. People who treat others as disposable eventually find themselves alone. People who manipulate and control eventually find that no one trusts them. People who cheat and lie eventually find that they attract the same energy back. They get cheated on, lied to, manipulated by someone else who operates the same way they do. There is a certain poetic justice in this. The universe does not punish people by sending something of foreign into their lives. It simply allows them to experience the world they have been creating. The person who spreads rumors finds themselves the subject of rumors. The person who abandons others in their time of need finds themselves abandoned. The person who takes credit for other people's work finds their own work going unrecognized. This is not coincidence. This is the law of cause and effect operating exactly as it should. Another powerful way karma finds people is through their own internal world. You cannot consistently act against your own values, against kindness, honesty, integrity, without it costing you something internally. The mind keeps score even when the world does not seem to. People who do terrible things and never face external consequences often face something far more relentless: themselves. The sleepless nights, the paranoia that comes from knowing what you are capable of, the inability to fully trust anyone because you know how easily trust can be broken. You have broken it yourself. The hollow feeling that comes from relationships built on performance rather than authenticity. These are not small things. These are the quiet devastations that karma delivers from the inside out. And then there are the external consequences that come in ways no one could have predicted. The person who fired someone unfairly finds their own company going under. The person who spread lies to get ahead finds those lies unraveling at the worst possible moment. The person who used someone's vulnerability against them finds their own vulnerabilities exposed at a time when they can least afford it. Karma is extraordinarily creative. It does not follow a script. It does not deliver consequences in predictable ways. It finds the exact point of vulnerability, the thing that person values most, the thing they built their identity around, the thing they thought was untouchable, and that is precisely where the correction arrives. This is why you should never feel the need to get revenge. Revenge is a human attempt to do what the universe is already planning to do far more effectively. When you spend your energy plotting against someone who hurt you, you are actually delaying your own healing and your own forward movement. You are staying in the energy of the wound instead of moving into the energy of your future. The universe does not need your help. It has been doing this long before you arrived, and it will continue long after. Your job is not to ensure that the person who hurt you gets what they deserve. Your job is to heal, to grow, and to move forward. The universe will handle the rest. Now, let's talk about something that is rarely discussed when people talk about karma: the timing. Karma does not operate on a human timeline. This is perhaps the most frustrating thing about it for people who are waiting for justice. You want it to happen now. You want to see it. You want to know that the universe saw what happened and responded. But karma moves on its own schedule, and that schedule is designed not just for the person who did wrong. It is also designed for you. Sometimes karma is delayed because you are not ready to witness it, because seeing it too soon would keep you focused on them instead of on yourself. Sometimes the delay is the gift. It forces you to build something so magnificent in the time you spend not watching them, that by the time karma arrives for them, You are already so far ahead that their downfall barely registers. Sometimes, karma is delayed because the lesson needs to be bigger, because a small consequence would not be enough to shift the pattern, because the universe is building up to something that will be undeniable, not just to you, but to everyone who watched what happened. And sometimes, karma has already arrived and you simply have not seen it yet. Because karma is not always public. It is not always visible. It does not always come with an announcement. Sometimes the person who wronged you is already living with consequences that the world cannot see. The broken relationships behind closed doors, the anxiety that keeps them up at night, the quiet unraveling of the life they built on a foundation of harm. Here is what you need to hold on to when the weight feels unbearable. Your peace is not dependent on their punishment. Your healing is not contingent on their suffering. You can be whole, happy, and free, regardless of whether you ever see karma arrive for them. And in fact, the moment you reach that place, the moment their fate genuinely stops mattering to you, is often the exact moment the universe delivers. Because that is when you have truly released it. That is when you have stopped holding the energy of the wound. And when you release it, you make space for everything good that is meant to come to you. And simultaneously, you remove the last thing that was protecting the person who hurt you. Your attention, your energy, your emotional investment in their story. There is one more thing worth saying about karma and the people it finds. Sometimes, karma does not look like suffering. Sometimes, it looks like stagnation. The person who hurt you is not in ruins. They are just stuck. While you are growing, evolving, building, expanding, they are in the same place. The same patterns, the same problems, the same cycles, unable to move forward because they have not dealt with what they set in motion. That is karma too. Not dramatic, not cinematic, but real. And you, the one who chose to heal instead of harden, who chose to grow instead of get even, who chose to trust the universe instead of trying to control the outcome, you are moving, you are building, you are becoming. And that is the greatest evidence that karma is real. Because karma is not just about what happens to the people who hurt you. It is also about what happens to you when you choose to live with integrity. When you choose kindness, even when cruelty would be easier. When you choose honesty, even when a lie would be more convenient. When you choose to trust the process, even when the process feels unbearably slow. That energy comes back to you too, in the opportunities that find you, in the people who show up in your life, in the doors that open, in the sense of peace that settles into your bones when you know, truly know, that you are living in alignment with who you are meant to be. Karma finds everyone, the people who hurt you, and you. The question is, what kind of karma are you building right now? Choose wisely. Live with intention. Trust the process.